You see, when a traffic lands in your landing page, it means they've already said yes once. They've clicked on your whatever, on your content, on your ads because they're interested. And then some shit start to happen. Okay, your traffic, they start to disappear. They never return to your content, to your ads, to your funnel, to your landing page, and no payment has been made. Alright, they just poof, they're just gone. And you see, most founders were to look at this situation and then they were to think, oh, maybe I need more leads. Maybe I just need to do more content, more ads, spend more money. Or, even maybe I just need to make a pivot. Maybe have a different offer. Maybe just something different, something fresh. Maybe I should just reinvent a new wheel. But here's the thing that I found after auditing enough business funnels. And that is, traffic isn't really a problem. Same thing with your leads. Like these two top of the funnel stuff, they're not really the problem. The funnel is your problem. Okay, and I want you to understand that this is not really about, getting more people into the door. It's really about building a funnel that's clear enough. A funnel that is trustworthy enough, structured well enough so that people that you already have will turn into paying customers. And which is why in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how you can build a conversion funnel that turns any existing traffic that you already have to convert them into paying customers. Okay, and we're really gonna be focused about these three things, and that's it. The first one being your funnel needs to be sort of a filter. A filter as in the right buyers come in and then the wrong ones are out. Okay, that is what it means by having a funnel that acts as a filter. And the second one being your funnel needs to build trust before you ask for any money. And the third one being your funnel needs to engineer small yeses so that it's easier for your traffic to say yes to a bigger commitment. Because your funnel, not your offer, is the only mechanism that stands between your existing signups and your revenue. And before I actually get any deeper into this video, let me show you what it actually looks like before I actually break it down. So, a couple days back, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks ago even, I've worked with this SaaS company called Bouncy.ai, which is a deep linking software tool. If you want to know exactly what they do and what I actually did for them, like the nitty-gritty stuff, I'm gonna link the video somewhere in the description of this video. But long story short, when I came in to help them, they were at I think $14,000 in MRR, somewhere around there. So it's clear to say that they were getting signups and the product worked. But there's something that can be improved when it comes to helping them to make more money, which is exactly what I did. Because when I audited their funnel, the product wasn't really the problem here. The funnel, the traffic, the landing page, it was all there. There was just some parts of the product's UI and the landing page that can be optimized for conversion and retention. So 8 weeks after building their funnel, around the three concepts that I'm going to be sharing you later on, they added their MRR by $14,000. And that's just the funnel doing its job. Now, I'm saying this because all of the frameworks that, I've worked for other SaaS, for my other clients, for e-com stores, for service providers, it's all the same framework. And yeah, I'm sharing you this because if it worked for my client, then it's of course going to work for you. So whatever framework that I'm going to be sharing you can definitely apply it to your own business. So let's get right into it. So the first principle being that your funnel is a filter. Now this is the mistake that most business operators get wrong, is they would build their funnel as if it's like a welcome mat, a welcome doormat to let everyone come in. Now if everyone enters your funnel and then they get the same experience, you cannot really wonder why half of your signups end up being unqualified. Or not only that, they're just completely wrong for your product. Okay, you're just attracting the wrong sort of people. Your funnel, it's not a welcome mat. I want you to see it as a filter. And then the filter has one job: to let the right people come through the business and stop the wrong people from coming in. Because the last thing that you want is to have any unqualified buyer inside your product only just for them to churn after 1 or 2 weeks. And I mean, let's be real, that churn hurts your MRR. And if it hurts your MRR, then it will hurt your retention. And it's really just gonna waste your money and time on someone who's never going to succeed with you in the first place. So now, how does a funnel filter work? It first starts with clarity. And it really starts with your landing page, your content, your messaging, basically just your top of the funnel. All of it that I've mentioned has to be clear on who is it for. When the right person lands, they should think, this is exactly for me. But when the wrong person lands, then they should think, okay, this product is not for me at all. And if your funnel is doing that, then you have a filter that is working. But to be fair, clarity isn't really enough, especially if you're running a high ticket offer. If you're selling a program or a service or a retainer, your funnel needs a qualification mechanism. And the most straightforward one is a form. Basically, before anyone really books on a call, before anyone even gets access to your calendar, they should fill out a short form. And there's like 3 or 5 other questions that you can ask in your form. But I just want you to take with a peace of mind that the main question you want to ask is, how much are they willing to invest in this? And I know some people are uncomfortable with that question, but think about the other side of it. If a prospect isn't willing to tell you that they're prepared to invest, on a call with you, then it shows that they're not serious. And a prospect who isn't serious is just really gonna waste an hour of your time and then just ghost you. Because, the form, it's not really trying to be rude. Okay, well, technically it is, because you are getting rid of the wrong sort of people. But I just want you to think of it, it's kind of being respectful. Okay, because you're being respectful of their time and your own time, so that you don't have to waste time on having to deal with the wrong sort of people. Because let's say someone fills out the form and, let's say they're making $3,000 per month and can invest $200. Then immediately that, that's not your client when they should be investing way more. And the people who make it through, they've already said yes to the small thing, meaning that they've already answered your questions in your form. Again, hopefully they answer their questions honestly. Now, that's already a micro commitment. And that shit matters, which is exactly what Principle 3 is about. But I'm gonna talk about Principle 2 first. And so now, Principle 2. Trust is built before the payment is made. When I were to think about it, the second reason why sign-ups or your traffic don't convert is that they don't really feel committed enough to buy. And I want to be precise on what safe actually means. I don't mean that, they're worried about getting scammed or stuff like that. I mean, okay, like there are some like scammy people in the industry, don't get me wrong, especially when it comes to the call sale space. But anyways, I mean that they're not really convinced that your product or your service is going to work for them specifically. That's what I mean by having a lack of trust. And here's how trust actually gets built. It's not really about one big moment. It's more of having a sequence of small moments here. And it starts with your content. Your content or your top of the funnel, your email or your ads that they see, which is relative to your content, right? Like the video that they watch, the posts you made that they read on LinkedIn or on X, the ads that they click. I just want you to understand that before they even land on a page, they've made a small decision to trust you enough to keep on going deeper in your funnel. That's the first layer. And then they land on your homepage. This is the moment where something either happens or it doesn't. They either feel understood, like, oh, fuck man, whoever wrote this copy, whoever wrote this page knows exactly what I'm going through. Because if they feel understood, they keep going. And if they don't, then they're just gonna leave. Most business operators never really think about this. They spend months building the offer, just doubling down on acquisition and just spending 15 minutes on the landing page. But if your onboarding is clear, if your leads know where to go, what to do, and they feel a sense of progress, trust will go up. And on the contrary, if they land on a landing page with an empty screen that that has no guidance and no extra step, then the trust would just drop immediately. The customer who converts is the one who feels safe at every single stage. Maybe the content felt right, the landing page, it just really hits them to the core. The first experience inside the product actually feels right. And by the time that they hit the payment screen, or on the sales call, when you ask them to pull out that credit card, the decision for them has already been made. Okay, it's just going to be frictionless for them to actually pay you. So the question to ask yourself is, which stage does the trust break? Where does the prospect go from I'm interested in what you have to offer, to I'm not really sure about this? Because that's where you're actually losing conversions. And by the way, if you're going through your own funnel in your head right now, and you know exactly where the trust breaks, where your bottleneck is, where it's leaking, then you should really check out the funnel days, which is just under the description of my video. And basically, this is where I help businesses with their specific problem. That be your landing page, your onboarding, your I don't know, wherever else that you think you have a problem in your funnel, your UX even. I'll basically just tell you what is broken and what to fix. Okay, so if you want more specific help with your funnel, and you want to make more MRR, then you can check out the link under the description of this video. Now, the last principle that I'm going to be talking about, and this is perhaps the most underrated thing when it comes to conversion funnels. Principle 3 is to engineer micro yeses. Here's the thing about a big yes, which is basically a payment, a signed contract, a book call that they have to spend 30 minutes of their time to just talk to you. These moments, it never really came from nowhere. What I mean by that is, every big yes, they're a result of a series of small yeses that came before the big yes. And if your funnel isn't engineered to collect those small yeses along the way, you're really asking someone to, jump go from a curious state to commit fully to you in just one step. What I mean to say is that jump is just way too wide for most people to make it. So now, what is a micro yes? A micro yes is basically any low-stake commitment that a prospect can make inside your funnel that moves them closer to become a paying customer, essentially. And that could be filling out a form, watching a video all the way through, using one of your free tools in your landing page, or maybe getting a free trial of your product. I want you to understand that each one of these are small yeses, and each one really matters more than people realize, really. And here's the psychology behind it. Every single time when a person say yes to something, even though if it's something small, it shows that they become more it shows that they've become more committed to the outcome. And this changes how they see the product. The founder, the offer, once someone has invested their attention, their time, or just a small action that they have to make, they're more likely to keep on going. Because, to them, stopping may feel like they've wasted everything that they've already put in. So the micro yes system is about engineering progress deliberately. Let me just give you two examples real quick. There's this software tool that a lot of people use. I fucking use. It's called Whisperflow, and Whisperflow is a voice-to-text software tool. And on their landing page, they have an interactive demo right under the feature section that basically allows you to test the product. Okay, test the main feature of the product. Before you sign up, before you pay, you can basically go on the website right now and then try the main product's core feature, which is just right there. And when interested people were to try this, they've basically experienced what they're gonna buy. And that demo is a micro yes in itself. The prospect said yes to trying it, and in doing that, 3 things happen at once. Number 1, they got clarity on what the product does. Number 2, they built trust because it actually works. And number 3, now they have made a small commitment to actually trying the product. And that micro yes made the sign up and payment feel like it's something natural. It just feels like a natural next step, not necessarily a risk that they have to make. And now for service providers like coaches, consultants, like agencies, the equivalent to that is what I call the problem gap opener. Now, I just want to clarify, to be honest with you, this is not something that I've tried, I've implemented yet. So you don't really have to listen to me on this one, to be honest with you. Although I'm going to be implementing what I'm sharing here, I mean, in my own funnel. Essentially, I've seen a lot of high ticket service providers do this before, which is the single reason why I knew that it works. Think about it as a free audit tool. A prospect were to land on your page, they click a button a CTA button that says something along the lines of free audit tool or something like that. And this free tool basically offers to audit their, their funnel, their ads, their strategy, depend on your offer, right? Depending on your service. And you want to do this for free. And what happens is after they've, put in their credentials, their details of their business, their email, they're gonna be receiving a mail with a specific breakdown of their business. Of maybe here's what's wrong, here's what's costing you, here's here are the things that you need to change in your business. And when all this happens, when they see all this data, now they would think that the problem they originally have now becomes bigger. They came into your landing page thinking maybe they have a problem. But now what you've done is you've basically opened a door to show them that they have a specific, tangible, and urgent problem. And now this is what I call a conversion trigger. It's not really about, tricking them, because you've really basically opened their eyes to something that is real, to something that, perhaps they've been hiding for a longest time. And a prospect with a hot, visible, specific problem, they're not cold leads anymore. Their buying desire will go up because this is something that is urgent and they need to solve it. They're not thinking, oh, maybe I should solve this problem maybe someday and all that. No, they're actually thinking, I need to fix this right now. So you are instilling a lot of urgency in their head when you're actually, opening this gap to them. So, right now I just wanted you to ask yourself, where is the micro yes in your funnel? What is the small, low stakes thing that a prospect can do to give them a taste of the outcome of your product? And if your funnel doesn't have any one of these three things that I've mentioned, then that's the first thing you can add. I've given you a priority checklist. Because right now, by the way how it looks, you're basically asking yes from a stranger. So these are the three things that separates a funnel that converts from one that's just leaking. It filters so that the right buyers get through and the wrong ones would leave before they waste anyone's time. And this sort of funnel builds trust progressively. So by the time the prospect hits the bottom of the funnel, they've really feel safe. And it wouldn't be hard for them to actually fucking pay you and get them on board to be a customer. So with that being said, if you want me to audit your specific funnel and find exactly where it's losing your signups, then that is exactly what I do in the funnel days. I basically map out your whole entire business flow, find the bottleneck that is killing your conversion, and then we basically fix shit together and make shit happen and help you make more money. It's just the link under the description of this video, so check it out.